Well, the start of a hugely anticipated Suncorp Super Netball season is upon us. Welcome to Ken Rosewell Arena here in Sydney as we open up season 2024. And the Giants making their way out onto the court, hosting the West Coast Fever in this opening game of the round. And Chelsea Pittman stepping into her new side of 2024. Kim Green joining me in comms today. Caitlin Bassett also. Beyond just being unbelievably excited, what an opening game between these two sides promises to be enormous.
Sue, we know firsthand what it's like with these two teams. It comes down to the wire. There's a lot of spice, and I absolutely love what they put their body on the line, and it goes down right to the last second most of the time in these games. So a cracking match for round one.
So the Giants, they were 6th in 2023 and they weren't happy about it. They've gone out, they've recruited well, and they are talking big words for this year, and rightly so. They've got some big names like that lady to the left, Chelsea Pittman, joining the lineup. And for the West Coast Fever, well, they missed a grand final by a solitary goal. And now Ronald McDonald, House representative, coming out onto the court. The ball hands over, and the charity partners of the Giants. So, folks, buckle in for a big season ahead. Buckle in for this game to begin with. But we are about to rip in to a terrific Suncorp Super Netball 2024 season. Kelsey Brown lines up for the West Coast Fever for the first time and will get us underway. Whistle goes. And we are raring. It is the Fever in the green if you're watching netball for the very first time, heading to your right of screen, and the Giants in the orange. And straight away, look at the pressure the Giants are applying through the middle. Alice Teague-Neal, number one for centre pass, receives and assists, and starts season 2024 in exactly the same fashion.
Oh gosh, she was good at Team Girls Cup, and again, just the start of that, you could see there was a lot of pressure on the line on that first centre pass, but she got out with ease. Lots of patience from the Fever to start off with.
So, Shanice Beckford debuting Suncorp Super Netball. This is Sam Winders for the Giants. Congratulations, girls. Sophie Dwyer will pop into the pocket. And Jo Harton. Well, the talk about this lady in the pre-season's been quite significant as the ball just rolls in. She's weathered some injury over the last couple of years, but she claims, as to her teammates, that she's in as good a form as she has ever been off the back of the prep.
Well, and you can tell when Jo Harton is in form because you can see it written all over her face, whether or not she's happy on and off the court. And at the moment, you can see she has a lot of smiles. She's excited about her netball again, and that is such a great thing coming off an injury. And you expect that she's going to be able to just stand up and bring that movement that the Giants need in this shooting circle.
Well, she already did that then with a nice little release out the side, and the Giants level up the score at 2 apiece. Alan Emmart out on the lead. Good swing to the pocket, finds Brown. And the reset in play, Teague-Neal. So again, Fever showing some patience. What about Jodie Ann Ward in at goal defence for the Giants? You know what a menace she can be defensively.
Yeah, what an exciting player. She is just coming on with leaps and bounds. She's exciting. She brings something a little bit different in that attack end. Loving what she brings to the Fever lineup.
Pittman at the top, good place to be early in the season. Harton just showing us what she's made of this year. And a nice long-range shot drops through.
Oh, and that's a good call from the umpire. Alice Teague-Neal just wanting to push through. Oh. A little bit of confusion from the umpires as to who had the call there, but Giants get it. They had a really good 2-on-1 between Price and Winders. Alice Teague-Neal just trying to push her way through it.
Well, Sam Winders was pumped, wasn't she, in the moment? It's the first turnover of the game,
contact goal defence,
which is pretty impressive that we're 3 minutes in and that's the first moment. I guess we kind of expect a bit of nerves to settle in, but both sides have been pretty solid to start with. And the Giants will take this one and pop themselves in front with their centre pass. So an early break to the home side. What about Sam Winders? former Silver Fern player in at wing defence for the Giants, and comes across the ditch to try something new.
Obstruction, goalkeeper, distance. Yes, goalkeeper, you're out.
Obstruction. The call on Dehaney. And the finish. So there's the break for the Giants. And we talk about that, like I sound like that's a really important thing, but it is given how close these sides play out their game, Kim.
No, you're so right. It's so important. I think, you know, finding your feet early is going to be critical for both of these teams. And we talk about those games being only won between 1 point. So standing up consistently over the 60 minutes, hopefully not going into extra time for these players, but it well could be.
Well, clever from Jamie Lee Price to remain onside. And again, they find their way to the post. So an impressive looking attacking line here for the Giants. Oh, vision from Brown straight into Fowler Nemard.
And that's why she's in that position, is that she's willing to just fire it in from anywhere. She has that beautiful vision, but also has the ability to get circle edge if need be.
Break from Jess Anstis, the newly appointed captain of the West Coast Fever, and a wayward ball in the first one for the Giants. And you can see straight away Coach Julie Fitzgerald just knows how important every moment is, albeit we're in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Well, a silly one from Jo Harden. It was a look-away pass, an absolute easy one to get to Price, and it would have opened up the post, but you just can't stuff those ones up.
Brown, pocket. Teague Neal uses the height, big swing and open up the court. And there we go. The lady that we spoke heavily about in the opener, the presence of Fowler, Nemard. Got to connect those two together.
You do.
Can't forget.
Nice pull there from Beckford into Brown, and it was just the confidence to give it. It's like, I can see you there, I'm going to give it, I need to keep playing with efficiency in that front end.
So the Fever work their way back here. Now lead by a goal. Back on their centre pass.
Oh, lovely. Too easy. Way too easy. And I think the great thing that you're seeing with the Giants at the moment, they are getting the ball down very easy on that second, third phase, and it's making them have a little bit more time in that attack end. So looks like it just has a little bit more ease than if we take a look at the Fever having to play around. Gosh, they've got patience, but it's much easier to get it there. But that should have happened, you know, two plays ago.
Yep, earlier. There you go. Both sides showing some early, I guess it's game plan tactics, isn't it? There's a real patience with the ball, treasuring every moment. Here, Pittman just looking, oh, gee, had to wait for about the third option. Oh, and then the shooter from Dwyer to Harton. That is impressive.
Gosh. Do you know what I love about all of the four attackers in the Giants is that they're willing to give that ball. Every single one of them, there's not one that will hold it up.
Well, why wouldn't you when you're feeding Jo Harton? You know, she's got a good set of hands on her and she's going to do everything she can for you. So captain of the Giants and a goal shooter. Here's our Harvey Norman replay, the moment we spoke about. Again, Harton front space.
And you can see Dehaney getting stuck slightly on the back of Harden at the moment, so she's just needs to get her footwork around, almost double up with Sunday Ariang, create a little bit of more tension in that circle, so to speak. Oh gosh, that's lovely.
Well, we've spoken about how high scoring these two sides can be, as we mentioned in the two previous years on this court, 74 to 73. Not a goal missed at this point in time. So we're not getting any rebound ball down the court through sheer accuracy.
No, that's right. And mostly, when you see these two teams play, they play very, very different. You often see the Fever playing with a little bit more urgency, going to post a little bit quicker, where the Giants come into their own when it's a super shot. So that's why generally the score is so high. But you're seeing both of them quite balanced in the way that they're approaching it at the moment.
11-10 the score halfway through this opening quarter. Suncorp Super Netball season back in action as Dehaney comes out for a look. And then Ariang has a crack and the ball will land with the West Coast Fever.
And that's how you create pressure, by going and having a crack outside. Sunday Ariang went and backed her teammate up and had another crack. Look at this Harvey Norman replay. Yes, Dehaney missed it, but Ariang had it back and went and had a crack at the back end.
Well, Shanice Beckford showing some real flair early for the West Coast Fever. Can't finish the shot. That's the first miss of the game, but Fowler Nemard with the rebound. And now the break to the West Coast Fever and their centre pass to follow.
And you can just see the intensity lift from the Fever now. You can see momentum shifting, but they're putting the foot down. What can Giants do to shift it now? They have to bring something.
Well, let's remind viewers, those that are familiar and those that may not be, that once we hit that last 5 minutes, there's your last 10 goals. You can see Fever with the 3.
Contact goal defense.
Once we hit the last 5 minutes, we are into Suncorp super shot territory. Rainey doing everything she can there. And the power 5 creeping up in just over a minute's time.
Again, another hack outside the circle, but wasn't pulled off. That is the difference between the Fever and the Giants in those 2 moments. Tilly didn't have someone backing her up on the back.
Pittman, well met with Anstis. Contact the call. Lovely swing from Dwyer. With the presence on Harton here at the moment. And replayed ball. Justin Barnes eventually reminding himself of the rule.
Yeah, the Giants knew straight away that that was going to be a replay ball. Look at how quick this transition is, though, and that is just the beautiful ball placement from the Fever, getting themselves into the right position.
So Caitlin Bassett joining us on the sideline. Caitlin, ironically, you've played for both of these sides through your career. What are you seeing?
Yes, I have, funnily enough, as time's being called. Look, I think for me, the speed that the ball is moving down the court is really, really firing at the moment. I love to listen in and see what the coaches have to say to this team.
All right, so we'll head to our HCF tactical timeout called by the Giants, the first one of the season. Their coach, Julie Fitzgerald, with the words.
To get too much of a free run. So I'm going to sit behind and push her back on court.
Should we play more of a split? Like I pick up you, you come to me? No.
No, I don't reckon it's there. It's like up here.
Okay.
So I need to get behind and push her back up. But the minute she receives the first one, it's going straight back to the center.
Deep breath. Fight really hard now, okay? Let's not forget the little loose ticks there. They will come. Let's step up on that defense. When we're in attack, it's possession. We've got all the offers, all the time in the world down to our goal. Yeah, here we go. Giants on 3, 1, 2, 3. Giants!
Well, what a great insight to a team huddle. There's some great moments there defensively, Kim, with Jodie Ann Ward and Tilly McDonald trying to talk through tactics. And then at the other end, the real reminder from their captain, co-captain Joe Harton, about what they need to do in attack.
Yeah, there was certainly the balance, and you heard Jodie Ann Ward talk about that. I'm not coming back to cover you on that. I need to stay on Beckford and push her up and create pressure up there, so keep an eye on that.
I love that ownership from a player.
Me
like,
too.
you know, it's like, well, I've got to do my job, you sort yours out.
Yeah, so if you're going to go out and have a crack, as McDonald wanted to do, you're going to have to figure it out or have a crack and know you're going to get it.
So the power 5 siren now gone, which
Contact goal
means
defense.
we're into our
Back this side, you got
5-minute period.
Back this side. No, that's where a penalty was.
Where the penalty was, where if this shot goes in, we call it a Suncorp super shot. The first of season 2024 off the hand of Sophie Dwyer. And the scoreline now back to 3.
Gosh, that second phase play from Alice T. Neal was just beautiful. Quite little small dodge to open herself up top of the circle.
So it is a pass only. It was an offside call. So just easy to go to Fowler Nemar. Well, you could look like they actually want to go for a 2 instead. Steady with the 1. Kim, we were talking earlier about how impressive the Giants are in the super shot period.
Yeah.
As we'll probably see this moment. Harton back to Price to set Dwyer up for their second of the game, and it goes again. Last year, the Giants took 71% of their shots in this period as super shots. They didn't all go in, but 71% of the time they're taking the two. That's 24% more than any other team last year. That goes to show you their game plan. They can be lethal like that if they're on track.
Well, and you hear the Giants talking about it all the time. They love the super shot because that brings them back into the game. They see that that's a real opportunity at, you know, in the last couple of seasons when they weren't able to mix it with teams in the first 10. That last 5, we've got to give it a good crack. Now they've got a team that is solid enough to do it. They should be lethal at both.
Well, crowd doesn't like it. Neither does the lady sitting next to me. Hands are up in the air. They don't like the offensive contact. But it will be game on. Let's see if the netball karma gods come to play. The Fever by 4, 2:50 on the clock. Brown swings out wide, opens the court up here for the Fever. Oh, lovely play between the Jamaican teammates in Beckford and Fowler Nemmard. The West Coast Fever put another on the board.
Fever just playing with so much patience at the moment. And they're willing to do it at the moment. They're sitting at 59% in time of possession. And it's because of this, playing around with the ball, just making it work, but sitting at 88% for centre pass.
Fowler Nemmard drops her second. Is this a new tactic here for the West Coast Fever? What's going on? Because we're used to seeing her bomb the ones.
Well, she's sitting at the Nissan net points match leader there on 38, and rightfully so. Just stepping up for the Fever at the moment.
Dwyer looks at it for a third time, and it's 3 straight for her. Another Suncorp super shot. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to get very comfortable with this because that is the way the Giants like to play. They love the twos and they are damn good at it. That lady in particular.
Well, you can see the Giants are playing a little bit of an offline here. But Beckford is still just running riot. Just keep an eye on her. She's still moving. No one on her. And here is that super shot. Oh! We spoke about it pre-game. She'll go to post knowing that Fowler Nemmard can just get underneath and grab that one.
6 the difference. Just over a minute to play. Harton out on the lead. Swings open to Price. Now a look for Joe Harton. Lines up and it looks so smooth, doesn't it? Her first 2 for the season. The West Coast Fever here, playing with some patience. Marianne goes again with Beckford.
Again, Beckford just free as a bird, and look at that.
Almost a level of comfort that she's got in playing on. Oh my goodness, I was going to talk over it because I didn't think it was going to happen again. Suncorp super shot, 3 straight for Fowler Nemmard.
Fowler Nemmard sat in that position waiting for that ball. She is confident and wanting to take those shots. That's not by accident.
6 the difference, 24 to play. Plenty of time for this lady to drop another. This would be her 4th for the quarter. And it doesn't matter that it's an obstruction. Unbelievable. You're going to tell me it's her 5th if I got my math wrong.
No, I'm looking at there's 7 super shots, 8 super shots in this quarter alone.
5 seconds left. Won't be enough time for the Fever to score. They go quick if the shot's taken. Before the whistle went, it counts. I'm just trying to understand that. All right, it looks like it's Giants, so it's no score at all. So we finished the quarter quite in impressive style, wasn't it? Well, they're taking it 26 to 21. We're going to tighten that up when we come back after the break. Terrific opening quarter. I hope you're enjoying Suncorp Super Netball being back on your screens right here on Fox. Welcome back to Ken Rosewell Arena. We're right inside the West Coast Fever huddle here at the moment.
1.2, there's just some really great balance. And even if we're coming down ball side, we're opening someone far side and actually opening that vision nicer to connect, right? You've got read that beautifully sometimes, so keep that up. Really, really well done. Good job. Good job.
That's our quarter-time Origin Energy huddle. Kim Green, I am coming straight to you. We literally went to the break. That last goal did count, but both of us looked at the score and we were like 26 to 21. 47 points scored in the opening quarter of the season. It's insane.
It's insane, and we're tracking for a very, very strong and high high-scoring game. It's very, very exciting. I love what they're both producing at the moment. It is a little bit tit-for-tat, both just simmering in what they're doing. But it was interesting to hear Dan Ryan talk about some of the strategies he wants his team to really step up on. Centre passes, just reading the cues between Alice Teague-Neal and Beckford. Thinks they're getting a little bit confused, but listen to this. 95% conversion rate they're sitting at the moment.
For their centre pass.
For their centre pass. So he wants 100%.
Well, you know, and I think what's interesting as we go into this quarter, as we watch the Giants come together before they come out, is that sustainable? Because that's what the coach would love, right? 95%, but is it sustainable? That's a very impressive figure for round one. You're usually working towards that as the season goes on.
Well, and I think the benefit of having Team Girls cut so close is that you get all of those little nuts and bolts sorted before you get to round one, but there is always going to be nerves. You're playing for points now, and I really love what they're doing on their centre pass. They're really bringing different strategies. Alice Teague-Neal's doing a load of work out the front, which we know she is capable of. But, yeah, stick at that 95%, they're winning this.
So we're about to get underway in quarter two. How's this, folks? 62% of possession time with the West Coast Fever in that opening quarter. So now we watch to see how the Giants rebound out of this. Mind you, that scoreline, there's nothing really in it. Harton and Price, no changes on court.
That was lovely little pick and roll from Joe Harden.
Caitlin Bassett over in the Giants huddle. Seabass, I mean, surely fairly positive. 21, you know, we're in and amongst.
Yeah, that's right. We have seen a little bit of tweaking here in the defensive end for the Giants. Amy Sliger coming into that wing defence position, and we're seeing young Erin O'Brien getting the goalkeeper start against Janelle Fallon-Emard. I'm not surprised, to be honest, because she's absolutely dominated this first quarter, so they need to do something different to try and disrupt her flow. 16 from 16, and she's been bombing the super shot, so why not try something different?
So there's Sliger on your screen, and Erin O'Brien in at goalkeeper. Saw a little bit of O'Brien in the pre-season.
Well, Bass, I might actually come back to you because the difference between an O'Brien versus a McDonald, as a shooter, what do you need to change to make sure that you're still able to solidify your position on that court?
Yeah, look, I think for me, having a different body in O'Brien, I don't think Janelle Fallon-Emard has played against her that often, so she offers something a little bit different. I think as well, playing a little bit more off the body. She has beautiful reach like we can see there. I think Tilly O'Donnell was just getting stuck on the body a bit, so the directive from the coach at Giants was to get off the body and have a crack.
Advantage obstruction goal attack.
Well, it makes the feeders think, doesn't it, as well? It's a different size body to consider how and where to place the ball. Here she is, Erin O'Brien, the youngster, in for the Giants. So a 26-21 opening quarter. 3-1 the scoreline in this at the moment. Pittman punching through.
Yeah, that's a good drive from Pittman. You could see that Fever had started that box, driving through.
Oh, Joe Harden, sorry to cut you off, but that was going in, Kim Green. My goodness.
Over the head.
Oh, gee, the showtime early. It was so nonchalant, wasn't it?
Such a shooter thing to do, to take all the, rewards from the middies.
I'm yelling out to those in the truck. Give me a Harvey Norman replay. Thank you, on cue. Look at this. Hello. Oh. I love it. Oh, gee. It's about entertainment, isn't it? I mean, that is a skill, and it's not to say that she practices that 24/7, but it is a skill.
I've seen an Irish dance before.
It's moments like that can give you a bit of energy and lift you. It lifted the crowd, lifted me. Terrific. There she is again, Harton. Another little spin. Look at Joe Harden. The pre-season's done her wonders.
She's not showing anything though, is she? I was talking about how happy she looks. Looks cranky at the moment.
Well, they're
Needs
down.
business.
Fever. Teague-Neal, strong drive now on Sliger. Different matchup. Vision from Kelsey Brown. We were right behind that, Kim Green.
Yeah. You could just see the defenders of the Giants shifting off slightly, opening. But I said this before, they're willing to give the ball, and Brown is one of those people. Top pocket, in it goes. Brilliant.
Giants, Ward has to wait. Price punches through a green mess. So, trying to work their way through here. And you heard Joe Harton say earlier, we've got plenty of options and plenty of time to find them. And Price finds the perfect one. Joe Harton under the post. Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Here it goes. And it was just so casual all the time in the world. They're the best feeders when they can play with time and space. Kelsey Brown, you can just see how experienced she is in delivering that.
Shanice Beckford, 8 from 9. We saw that her pre-season stats at Team Girls Cup were sitting at 55%. So some improvement from her. Martin, that's her 13th straight goal. Still 6 the difference. It's 5 at quarter time. Teague Neald into the pocket. The switch and the height mismatch. Well, it was the smarts, wasn't it, to go to Fowler Nemmard in that moment.
It was. It definitely opened her up. The placement of the ball, normally Alex Teague Neald has it spot on, but we often find that Fowler Nemmard can be under pressure on those. So making sure you nail those is going to be important in the next 10, that's for sure.
So a disconnect then between Pittman and Harton. Fever with an opportunity through court. My goodness!
Oh.
It was a giant sandwich on Jess Anstis. Well, she's one of the toughest.
Wing attack.
And she just took a knock from one of the toughest, or two of the toughest. Have a look at this. That is a tough sandwich.
Well, and just the foresight. Jess Anstis would know that there is two bodies coming for her, and to put her body on the line and just take that in, it just shows that she is such a strong leader for this team.
You know, I want to, let's just talk through that while they're mopping the floor
Yeah.
here. You're absolutely right. She had the awareness and presence to turn her body in that moment there and protect herself.
Yeah. And you don't want to land that too early, because then if you land and have the bodies on you, your knees
then
are
you're
in
in trouble.
jeopardy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So back underway. This was off a wayward ball from Pittman to Harden, and then a bit of a
Goalkeeper on the wrist.
contact moment.
Just hold your hand straight up and down, okay?
So Fowler Nemmard finishes the transition for the West Coast Fever, and they take another step ahead here with a centre pass to come. Oh, Sliger. First little moment on Teague Neald. Give her some confidence. Mariang. And again. And there's another moment for Sliger. Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to come soon. It's going to come soon.
It will, and I think it's just now about making sure she runs at the ball as opposed to taking on the body.
You know what I love about that moment, that brilliant moment in the rejection? Just a moment ago, Justin Barnes, the umpire at this end, just gave a little bit of understanding to Erin O'Brien around why she was contacting, which was, he said, just keep your hand up a little bit more. Well, that helped her then on the rejection,
It
right?
sure
Surely.
did, and this is something that is one of her strengths, is the anticipation of the shot, but also the long-rangey arms to make the shooters feel uncomfortable, as you could just see then.
All right, so Amy Sliger having a good moment. Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, it's the outside arm on that one, but then it's the body on the second one, so it's just about finding that, you know, the line of the ball, having a crack at it, but the first one, she could have caught that.
Chelsea Brown goes down. Harton here. A little bit off balance and then pops through the middle. So the co-captain doing everything possible here to keep this side ticking along. One thing we know about the Giants, 8 points is absolutely nothing when it comes to the last 5 minutes of the quarter. Beckford, good finish from her.
And the awareness level to get going. Fowler Nemmard's out, get going into the circle. Beautiful ball in too.
Pittman uses the height. Anstis pulls out of that moment. Oh, gee! Well, it was a fake of the pass, but Brown was right within the space. The umpires basically said, you've caused that moment, Brown. That's her, Kelsey Brown. So no call required.
Oh, here's the replay. Yeah.
How does she cause that moment?
I'm not certain. I don't... Oh,
I'm not certain.
I'm not certain. Not an umpire, Sue. Yeah, a tough one.
I mean, Pittman meant nothing by it. She
No.
was trying to fake the ball. Just happened to be that Brown was right in her way. Here we go, Harvey Norman replay. Have a look.
Yeah, that's a tough one to call. I would say that I don't think there was causing, but play on maybe.
So Fran Williams rolls on for her debut in Suncorp Super Netball and for the West Coast Fever. The English Roses captain. And has an impact with Ariang immediately. So the Fever off a missed goal. Coming through court and silencing the crowd at the moment, aren't they? Oh, Ward, big hands.
Well, we haven't spoken much about Ward this game. You know, we probably expect a little bit more ball from her just to see that one deflection to her name.
Obstruction.
She's having a quiet one, which makes Beckford know that she's doing her job, keeping her busy. Here it is, the Harvey Norman replay. Gosh, she can get up to that ball.
Yep, that's a good look at her vertical jump.
More of those is needed.
Brown absolutely knew where the target was before she released the ball. Ellen Emmard steps in and tracking along beautifully for her 24th goal without a miss. Add 3 super shot straights to that. Pittman with Price. Ariang just forcing Harton wide.
Obstruction centre.
Dwyer just a steady for the Giants. So that's their 8th goal of the quarter. Fever sitting on 13 after a 5-goal lead at the end of the first.
Smart from Alice Teague-Neild. Again, she's owning that top of the circle at the moment. She's finding really great space there. Get there one-on-one in the circle. It's a no-brainer. Have a look at the Nissan net points. Fallon Emmard slowly chipping away, but 4 Fever players in the top 5.
Well, there's another one that's going to add some Nissan net points to her name in Jess Anstis, captain of the West Coast Fever. And Fallon Emmard on the Power 5 buzzer. Takes 1 for the West Coast Fever. So they're tracking along beautifully at the moment, the away side. 29-41. And HCF tactical timeout again called by the Giants. Some work to do, but I tell you what, this is their time to shine, this next 4 minutes and 54 seconds.
So we can't give that ball because then that person has the inside line for a Fever. So either stop and hold and then pop it up, or we come back to the side. Yep. Yeah, makes sense?
And we change direction. At the moment, we're having those little runs from there. Keep changing direction. Keep their heads moving so they can't get the top of your body. Right?
We seriously need some balls defensively. Yeah, so let's be tight on before the centre pass 0 phase, and then we're going to get right on up towards the bubble, towards the area.
Many balls in backspace coming down the court. We're just running down and then wanting a big ball over. Let's do the work so we can shorten that up and come to the
Here we go! Let's go, guys! Let's go, guys! Personal accountability. That is 0 phase from the moment we leave this huddle. Get up in their fucking face. Come on, let's go! 1, 2, 3! Let's go!
Well, there you go. Joe Harton has spoken, and you can see the passion coming out, Kim. Let's be blatantly honest. You've just pointed out to me on the stats, no gains to their name so far.
No gains, no intercepts, 5 deflections, and probably not one of those coming to anything. So Joe Harton said it very, very clearly. We need to get ball and we need to get it quickly.
Centre pass to goal rate for the West Coast Fever now up to 97%.
Gosh, that's good. Yeah, you're aiming for about 80% normally. 97%, wowee.
Caitlin Bassett sitting down in amongst the West Coast Fever in that moment. Dan Ryan, actually, I popped my eyes over. He looked quite animated in the moment. I mean, they're sitting good.
Yeah, look, he's a hard taskmaster, I'll say that. He just wants more energy, more drive, encouraging them to continue taking these super shots. He's not happy with this lead. He wants absolutely more. And he knows if they pull back at this time, Giants are really going to exploit that. So he just wants more leading into his halftime break.
Well, that's why. Suncorp super shot for Sophie Dwyer. And we know the Giants can chip away at this. It's what West Coast Fever do in the meantime. Jamie Lee Price has just given a hip and shoulder to Kelsey Brown at the top.
She's had a few hits today, hasn't she, Kelsey Brown? But she's just up and at him and off she goes.
Ellen Emmard hasn't missed one of these. That's the first one, and this is a moment critically important for the Giants in the scheme of the scoreline at this part of the game.
Well, and including at super shot period. They need to get it down there and they need to score off a super shot.
Price out wide. Anstis has a look. Hitman, quick hands.
Gosh,
And then
that was quick.
They find Dwyer. Well, in moments it could have been 2 in a row, but it's a miss. Gee, a lot of pressure goes on her shoulders.
It sure does, and I think generally you see her just unflappable in the way that she's doing. She has to do a lot of work. Sunday Ariang, we haven't spoken about her much, but she's really just grinding the game out here. Keep an eye on that matchup because Dwyer is going to be needed if the Giants are going to stay within arm's length.
So, 43 to 31, that little moment, 2:55 until we hit the halftime break, and a HCF tactical timeout now called for the West Coast Fever. Going to listen in now to their head coach, Dan Ryan.
Into the middle, all right? So a little bit extra energy here in defence and then punch through in attack. Let's make sure we're really disciplined with our strategy here in Super Shot. Let's just keep ticking over ones because we're in a great position, all right? So real challenge in defence. Everyone on it try and win ball, and we're ultra disciplined just for ticking over ones, really disciplined in what we're doing, all right? So smart stuff, but stay really aggressive, right? Well done. But they want to get something on it. Here we go, guys.
So Jordan Kranzberg on to the court for West Coast Fever. Not a debut game for her. She did play for the Fever a few times last year as a temporary replacement player, but she owns it today as a newly contracted player. Might try and see if I can get across to Caitlin Bassett in this moment as we watch the Giants again under the leadership there of Joe Hart. We spoke earlier, you said in the pre-game around how important it was to wear Sophie Dwyer down. Talk me through that and where you see it's at.
Yeah, look, I think Sunday Ariang has absolutely been doing her job. She's been quiet. She hasn't been picking up too many penalties. I think to start off with, she was probably putting her hand in a little bit too much, but she's just really consolidated. And the work, not just of her, but Anstis and now Kranzberg, who's in centre, is going to be really important in stopping that ball before it goes to the circle.
Obstruction, roll attack. Roll attack, step up.
Well, just having a look at some of the stats, just to also add to some of the attacking, amazing work that the Fever are doing. Only 1 turnover. 1 turnover for the game so far for the Fever. Giants are sitting on 7.
27.5 minutes of netball. That'll be a record. Harton knows what's needed, and the co-captain does exactly that. The Suncorp Super Shot dropping, scoreline 10. Need a turnover here, Giants. Have to work hard defensively. Kranzberg on. Nowhere to go, and goes cross court, and Price has a red hot look. They find Fowler Nemard, and we heard Coach Dan Ryan say, keep it simple, and she does.
Second phase, that is beautiful work for any wing attack that's looking at how to set up a centre pass. You're not first option, that's it, right there. Alice Teague-Neal's been doing it all game too.
Well, Joe Harton did exactly what she needed to there, which was they got to take the shots.
Yeah.
And West Coast Fever have got to work hard on, I guess, getting the rebounds, isn't it? Because ultimately, you don't want double shots. It's the simplicity of the game. 90 seconds to play out till halftime. Kranzberg sights.
Contact Golden Face.
It's a good contest from Jodie Ann Ward. Contact the call though.
In the one. Step up, Golden Face to the side.
So just umpire indicating clearly where that shot needed to be taken. Beckford slots in number 10 from 13. Kranzberg. Just see the patience from West Coast Fever, Kim Green.
Patience, but looking forward. They're not looking to go back at the first little touch of some sort of pressure. That's beautiful work from Erin O'Brien. We'll need more of those for the Giants if they're going to get over the line on this game. But
well, I just want to keep your eye on the clock here. So 38 seconds. They actually need to score and then give themselves time maybe to try and get another score. So Harton under a big contest then from Fran Williams. Surely she turns around to find Sophie Dwyer. All right, so they're going to wipe. So let's talk this through. Harton goes to find Dwyer surely. She takes it 2. Then they've got to get that ball back and be really direct and try and get 4 points on the board here.
Well, and 22 seconds is a long time. If they can get this within the first 5, you're good to go. 17 seconds for a centre pass.
Look at that setup. So Dwyer cleverly, front space held. This is an important moment for the Giants. Doesn't fall. Little tap of the hand from Williams. 8 seconds. 6. Needs to be quick. They'll take the one. It could be critically important. And the siren goes. So the West Coast Fever foot down in the first 30. Strong, solid lead, 45-34. Giants centre pass when we come back. But let's not forget what they are capable of, and let's not forget that every time these sides meet on this court, it is big scoring and it is down to the wire. Great first 30 minutes here of the season. Let's go straight down to Caitlin Bassett, who's courtside with one of the Fever mid-court.
Yes, I'm here with debutant for the Fever, Kelsey Brown. Kelsey, you've been on the floor a little bit in this first half. Tell us, how tough is it out there?
Yeah, it is a physical contest. We knew that coming into a Giants game that it was always going to be hard. First ball contest, especially with Jodie Ann and Jamie Lee Price out there, and it hasn't disappointed so far.
Your connection in particular in attack, some of the feeds you have been ripping into the circle. It looks like you've been playing with Janelle Fowler-Nemard for years. How does that connection feel to you?
I mean, she's a pretty easy target to feed. She makes some of my balls look great, and I think with that connection out the front with Alice, and Shanice is absolutely ripping it up in her first game. So I'm just filling the spots, to be honest, and happy to play my role.
Up by 11, what do you need to do to, continue this lead and push on and get the win?
I think we need to keep up our grind pressure in defence and make sure that we get some turnover ball, because we know in this game that 2-pointers are going to come into play in the second half, especially against a Giants team, and we want to make sure that we tick over our 1-point netball and make sure that we're dominant in that.
Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Sue.
On you, Caitlin, well, you mentioned it's an 11-goal lead to the West Coast Fever. In just a moment, it's our halftime show coming up. Hannah Hollis, Kim Green and Caitlin Bassett will walk you through that. And then back and bigger than ever, your weekly netball fix is now an hour long. And don't look any further than Sundays, folks. After the last game of the round on Fox Sports and KO, you know what? Pivot is back tomorrow. Well, the Giants and the Fever are about to get us underway in the second half of this opening game of the season. Right here at Ken Rosewell Arena. Scoreline sitting at 34-45. The Giants with some work to do in the second half. We'll get to all the changes in just a moment, but none other than an opportune time to go down to Julie Fitzgerald, the head coach of the Giants. Jules, appreciate you joining us in this opening game. Listen, a terrific opening quarter, a very high-scoring opening quarter. What fell away in that second?
I think I'm very disappointed with our defensive effort down the court. I think that we're a step behind our player all the way, and we've really got to increase in that department.
And Jules, we've gone for your third option in that wing defence position. Jodie Ann Ward now slipping in to that position. What are you searching for?
I want to win some ball, and up until this point in time we haven't, so we'll try a different defence end and see if that makes a difference for us.
And Tilly McDonald going from goalkeeper to goal defence. What can you expect from her position out at goal? Oh, beautiful there. That's what you're hoping for, Jules.
It is.
But what are you expecting from Tilly McDonald? She certainly had a quiet first quarter.
I'm just hoping that she'll be able to mark Mark Beckford. I think she's had a really free run, and we need someone who's going to run with her and trouble her entry into the circle.
Jules, you know how much we appreciate your time. Get back to doing what you love.
Thank you.
Julie Fitzgerald, longest serving and most experienced coach in Suncorp Super Netball. And a terrific opportunity to get down and hear from the Brains Trust during the game and continue that throughout our season. So, Kim, you did mention a change up there. Just talk us through specifically that Giants switch.
Yeah, well, just putting Jodie Ann Ward, I think she has been super quiet this game already, and it's trying to just get ball in hand for her. As we've mentioned, 7 turnovers just to the 1 of Fever. You have to start creating pressure somewhere. Jodie Ann Ward certainly can do that, but she's up against Alice Teague-Neal, who at the moment is sitting on 57 net points, 28 feeds, and she is nailing it on the goal assist too.
So a hell ball there, the West Coast Fever defence covering the Giants through their centre pass play. Kelsey Brown back on for the Fever in the middle. And Williams remaining on court in goalkeeper. So Anstis Teague Neild up high. They'll open up the court through the captain. And then Fowler Nemard, you just saw, it's intriguing. She's just got eyes directly for Beckford, her new Fever teammate and her 10-year long-time partner in crime in the Jamaican team.
Yeah, you can just see that she's just willing to sit in that space and first off know that the ball is going to be given. The thing I love about Fowler Nemard is that she will take any ball, and that is just the quality of a player. Knows that she hasn't put it in the right place.
Well, it's almost she could hear what you were saying as you were saying it, and Shanice Beckford realised maybe that wasn't ideal.
No,
anyhow.
But that's what I love about Fowler Nemard. She will take any ball, and that is a sign of a fantastic player.
Ariane called for the contact. Good contest, but called on Dwyer. And again, they try to find the strength of Harton. And a little miss from her, and Williams comes up. A little hand from Harton, but it'll go with the Fever. So a 4-2 opening for the Fever in this quarter.
And we also see Sammy Winders go into that wing attack position, so I think she brings a lot of vibe and strength and power in that space. Oh, take a look at that, Jodie M. Ward. That is one of the first pickups that the Giants have had this game.
Well, she used her closing speed to get to the ball, and this goal needs to land for her. And that's the thing for the moment, when there's far and few between balls being picked up defensively by the Giants. It needs the conversion, doesn't it? Harvey Norman replay. Have a look at this. Hustle right through the middle of the green. Janelle Fowler-Nemard now on 34 goals straight. Beckford, well, she thought she was going to step. Would she have stepped if she grounded that foot?
Again, I'm not certain, Sue, but what I was actually looking at was that she didn't even look. She just threw it up in the air, and Teague Neild wasn't even ready for it. She was just running away. Look at that last 10 goals of Fever, 5 of them to their name. Giants need this one, and they certainly get it. A nice balancer for the team.
Well, we had 47 collective points scored. Little hand from the Giants. There's that high ball again. Beckford getting more confident as this game goes on. 47 points scored in that opening quarter, then 19-13 in the second. So a drop down from the Fever, but then even a further drop down from the Giants. We're sitting at 7-3 this quarter. And look at that, Fowler-Nemard. That's her range and her accuracy.
Well, and if you're looking at that as a coach, you're saying push Fowler-Nemard over to the opposite side, push her over to the left-hand side, because she's only going there 4 times in this game so far.
Well, that was interesting from Harton. She was right under the post. It's not the super shot time. I don't know why she didn't pivot immediately to take the shot. Got there in the end. Direct again from the West Coast Fever. My goodness. Alice Teague Neild having a feel for feeding Fowler-Nemard. Teague Neild sitting at 68 dis and net points. 20 goal assists, most on court.
Yeah, she's having a cracking match. And do you know what I love about her is that she's just consistent. Every game, you know exactly what you're going to get from her, and that must be so nice as players around her.
Beckford into the front position, continues the confidence at the post. And the West Coast Fever, I imagine here, third quarter, you'd be a little nervous as Fowler at the age of 35 gets up for that one, and I mean that nicely. Then takes the offensive rebound. She is having a blinding opening game for her side in her 7th season.
Isn't it crazy to think that there are some changes? Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. Up with one hand. Again, the ball placed a little bit on the offside of where she was running. But to think that she's still mixing it up, creating new energy, creating new plays for herself, keeping it fresh. But the Fever have had a change in this attacking lineup, and they're starting to even excel even further.
Caitlin Bassett, don't tell me you weren't impressed by that Fowler take 2 seconds ago.
Seriously, she keeps showing us up, our tall shooters, friends out there. You're not supposed to be that athletic at 6'6", okay? Just calm your farm. I've been absolutely loving it, but I think what's going on down the other end is quite concerning. What do the Giants need to do now in their attacking end? Because it is getting out to 16
goals at the moment. With Sophie Dwyer maybe having a bit more of a quiet game, and we talked up what a great pre-season Joe Harton had, would it be bad putting her out in goal attack to try and get more ball and try and create some more energy in that attack end?
Let's not forget Matisse Leatherbarrow sitting on the bench here. Not shy of a super shot, knows how to play the game. It's round one. Get her on the court, give her a crack. I mean, I'm no coach here, but I'm just saying, like, there's this great opportunity. They've got 3 formidable shooters.
Yeah, and this is something that we've been saying for a couple of seasons now, is that Matisse is ready, and she needs, every time she does get given that opportunity, she puts her hands up and nails it. We saw it last season with Joe being out. She was one of the best players for the Giants in that period. Get her on the court.
Beautiful high release. Anyone sitting at home wants to understand how to put the big one in. There you go. Fowler Nemard just... Was that an apology or... I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the moment. So it was a... Get out of my way. A little similar to a couple of actions earlier, but she's gone straight over to apologise to O'Brien. So good sportsmanship. Great, lovely, quick hands. The other end of the court.
I think for the Giants now, it's about changing the way they're doing their attacking structures. There's a lot of long passes. Get it in shorter. Create that little energy between each other. Talk to each other, bum taps, whatever you need to do to get up. But it has to change the attacking structure. Come to something else.
Well, all caught up in the arms, O'Brien on that occasion. Almost getting a lesson, isn't she? Well, it's a good one. If you ever want to learn a lesson, you learn it from the best in Fowler Nemard. So the West Coast Fever continue to surge forward. 14-8 this quarter. And they are pushing their lead out to 17 now. Just shy of our Power 5.
In line with me. Yes.
Contact on Williams. Harton, front, wants it.
Construction centre.
Doesn't like the range. Patience goes again. Exactly the same range, but from a different angle. Makes it count. No. Well, it's gone off, hasn't it, in attack for the Giants. What do you do as a coach here, Kim?
You've got to call a timeout first off, and then you have to get Matisse Leatherbarrow on.
Look at those rebounds. 7-zip the way of the Fever. Fowler Nemard steps in over the big long reach of O'Brien, but makes no difference to the shot.
It's 8:15 in this quarter, so something has to change for the Giants. And a little breather, they should be able to get themselves out of this sort of rut. But a timeout right now, and you probably see it just before this. Oh, here we go from the Fever.
Well, there you go, 5:03 on the clock, 42-61. They are surging. The team in green. Tactical timeout, HCF 1. By Dan Ryan. Let's listen in.
Joy's going to come back in the centre, all right, for the super shot period. So in nice and close, guys. Right, again, brilliant demonstration of staying locked in and focused on what we want to do. Know that this can turn very quickly if we find our relaxed moment. So stay in tune with what we're doing here. Respect your role and keep the aggression in what we're doing. So game plan in super shot, let's just keep ticking over the ones for at least the first 4 minutes, all right? So scoreboard pressure again and again. I'll communicate if we want to shift that, all right? In defence, it's all about the hustle. They're under enormous pressure, so if they're taking shots, it's because they've worked their ass off to get that ball. So stay in play on the outside, all right? Really important.
Let's not get caught on the pass and the post.
Oh, no, it's fine. No, pop it. I mean, we don't back off it now, so don't get picked back. Get aggressive on it. Yeah. Okay, no relaxed moments. Come out charging. Respect your role. Work rate, number one thing here. Let's go, guys.
Well, no stepping back, says Dan Ryan, and very mindful of what the Giants are capable of doing. I guess in the game where only 1 point is available, we might say that this game's over, but in this game, Fever would certainly have to change their form. They are killing it, but let me tell you, Giants just have to get accurate and put some real perceived pressure on the Fever.
Well, you can see that they are getting ball to post, but it is, you're right, getting that accuracy up, and if they are able to do that, then they can get them certainly back into the game. We've seen it time and time again from the Giants.
Power 5 buzzer gone, and the pressure across this line from the Fever is immense.
Obstruction in attack.
Obstruction the call, so the Giants will reset. Winders to Harton. Straight away, accuracy at the post, brings the crowd alive because they've been quiet. Suncorp super shot. Fever now. Little tap from Sliger. Here's a moment. Oh, unfortunate. But there you go. So this is what they need, a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence and a bit of perceived pressure on their opposition.
Well, and Sliger's come into this game nicely. Look at this little 1-2 from Sinclair.
Harton again from the same spot. Gee, that could have shifted things.
Well, and I think Harden could have taken her time on that shot. It was almost like she wanted to shoot it on the one.
One distraction shooter.
Maybe trying to change tactics to get more accuracy, but back yourself in on that. Take your time.
Well, the Fever looking a little bit more under pressure, and then they get the release from Teague Neal beautifully over the top of Tilly McDonald, who's now back into that goalkeeper role. Sliger on. Winders has to twist and turn, finds her way eventually. Lovely outside arm, Ariang, just chipping away at her craft, isn't she?
Well, and when Giants are under pressure, you see Harden wanting to come out of the circle a bit. She's sitting right where the middies want to sit. Let's take a look at this shot. Again, just too short, but they're sitting right where the middies need to be, and now it's crowded. So they need to just find a little bit more structure. Dwyer needs to be a little bit more available.
Well, not only available, but found the accuracy on that occasion. Another super shot dropping her way. She's 6 from 9. And then Sliger, oh gee. Well, when luck doesn't go your way, Winnie Sliger, when she has come onto the court, has had moments of impact, hasn't she?
She sure has, and you can see she's just building with confidence now. The first couple of touches, it was just, you know, throwing a hand in here and there. Now she's backing herself in, taking the body on.
Well, I guess at the moment for the Giants defensively, Harvey Norman replay bottom of screen.
Yeah, and she just went for the line of the ball, tried to keep her body out of it. It's important, and she's nailed that.
Big rebound from Dwyer. Steadies over the two arms of the West Coast Fever and nails it. So the Giants chipping away at the scoreline. 18-14 now this quarter. Finding their way back, doing what they do best. Teague Neal, lovely little offload from the pocket to Fowler Nemard. And the West Coast Fever are doing simply what they need to at the moment.
That's exactly right. I was just going to say that. Alice Teague Neal still just finding, oh, beautiful from Dehaney going and having a crack.
Just rolled onto the court, replacing Fran Williams.
But yeah, just going about their business still, even though momentum has slightly shifted and the perceived pressure is coming.
Steps back, rebound. Oh, Harton, well, put desperation on the line to keep the ball in play, but it lands with the West Coast Fever. Teague Neal, quick hands with Anstis, straight through. Look at the speed from the Fever. And Jodie Ann Ward, well, it was a great contest, but her foot was out of court.
Oh, the quick release. That is just experience and smarts, and she just knew straight away that's where the ball was going.
Just shy of 45 seconds to play here. Fever with ball. They've won the first 2 quarters. They'll win this quarter as well and set themselves up beautifully for the final 15. Giants need to score and need to force a centre pass with no score from the Fever here.
Contact centre outside the goal circle. Step up centre. Whole time. Centre outside.
So contact outside the circle. Dwyer takes the 2. Suncorp super shot drops. Takes them to the half century, and they need to stop the Fever scoring here. Teague Neal. Beckford. Does she have an awareness of the clock? 3 seconds. Fowler Nemard needs to be quick, and the score will count. So the West Coast Fever hold on strongly here. 50-66, setting themselves up for a big final 15. We head to the break. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is Suncorp Super Netball in season 2024.
Welcome back to Fox Netball. We're at Ken Rosewell Arena tonight. This is the Origin Energy quarter-time break, and right now the Giants are down by 17 goals going in to the final term. And look who I have found, April Brandley, former Giants defender. April, thank you for your time, but the Giants are down by 17. As a former defender, what's your take on the defensive unit?
Oh, I don't have all the answers, unfortunately. I think they're doing a really good job, but I'm a little bit biased. It's exciting to see the new girls out there, like the young guns like Erin and Jodie Ann Ward, who's like a massive firepower for them. But that was a really good 5 minutes. So I'm looking forward to the last 5 minutes of this game. I think it's going to be very exciting.
And in other news outside of netball, how's retirement treating you?
It's going good. This is not a netball in my belly. Yeah, we're expecting in a few weeks. So it's been a little bit weird being on the sidelines tonight, but it's a little bit more relaxing as well, which is nice.
That is uncommon. Players usually are biting their fingernails. Congratulations, and we wish you all the best on behalf of everyone at Fox Netball, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
April Brandley there, Sue. I feel like the Giants might be missing a bit of that energy that April brings, but you know what? 17 goals. Where there's life, there's hope. Bring on the fourth term.
Absolutely, Hannah Hollis. Well done to April Brandley. All the very best to you and the family for your second child coming up. Great to see some of the past players here. So 17 the difference you heard Hannah just mention. Not undoable, but they will need to be clinical and they will need to be exceptionally accurate come Suncorp Super Shot time, Power 5. So the Giants, no changing, just a quick look down the line, nothing from them. And the West Coast Fever, well, we saw Katie Ann Dehaney roll on in that final 5 or 6 minutes. She remains on the court.
Offside with attack. Giant.
Yeah, she came on and created some mayhem. I think the long rangey arm certainly helps just to create something a little bit different in that defence end for the Fever.
Well, great transition, the Giants. It was an offside call. Oh, and the look away to find Dwyer. So maybe a little bit of magic. She doesn't drop. They need a bit of magic, don't they, the Giants? Not again. Well, not the best day at the office for, well, I call her the youngster. She is an Australian diamond, but 10 from 14. That's 71%, just not the accuracy we're used to seeing for her.
No, not at all. And you can see now that she's starting to lose a little bit of confidence. The shot is being a little bit taken slightly quicker and also changing the way she does it. So it's not often that you see Dwyer like this, and I'm nervous for whoever she comes up against next week already. But Ariane, we've got to really talk about her because, gosh, she's played her role today. She is just solid as a rock. And I'm loving what she's doing. We don't often talk about Sunday Ariane.
Well, she's a quiet achiever.
She's a quiet achiever. And you don't often see the big specky intercepts, but it's the grind work that we spoke about at the beginning of the show, is that you just need to grind out a player like Sophie Dwyer to have any impact.
41 Nissan net points, 2 rebounds, and 4 deflections, and just the 7 penalties to her name. Quite clean.
Quite clean, and you know, that's the kind of play you want. You want to continue to build pressure the whole time. And we look at that Nissan net points, the match leaders, Nembard's still right up the top. But again, 4 out of the 5, Fever and Price sitting in the middle there.
Fever on the side. Sideline.
A little hand in from the Giants. So as this game's gone on, they have started to find some defensive moments as Kelsey Brown runs into the back of Sam Winders. Winders on the contest. In at wing attack. They'll have to go over the top to Anstis.
That ball, gosh, that was well placed. That's a hard ball to get into that pocket in particular from cross court. Gosh, Brown is good. How is it that she almost didn't have a contract?
Yeah, I know. It's insane, isn't it? And let's explain why. She didn't have a contract after the Collingwood Magpies decided that they weren't going to play. There's that Harvey Norman replay. Giants opportunity here. And then Verity Simmons signed with the West Coast Fever, and in the delay of the collective bargaining agreement, told the club she was retiring, and so the club had to find someone to fill that spot. Kelsey Brown steps
Not
in.
a bad pickup. Wowee. And it's just also, you know, you can either go into those moments as Kelsey Brown thinking, gosh, like I wasn't wanted, or hey, I'm going to put my hand up and give it absolutely everything. That's what we're seeing right now. She has done the work. She's fitted beautifully into this Fever fold. Completely different attacking end for them. And it's just easy.
So a better start by the Giants in this quarter. It's goal for goal, so we're 3 apiece. This will give them the lead of this quarter to 4-3. And whilst they will have their eyes on winning this game, don't get me wrong, they'll certainly want to come away with a quarter one. Great, into the pocket, little hand from Sliger again, building up her Nissan net points.
Well, she's been a highlight for the Giants this game, just coming in and finding critical moments to try and get hand to ball.
Giants.
Beckford, 12 from her now. Back space to Dwyer. Lovely little run from Price, but Jess Anstis takes an intercept from the hands. You're kidding me, aren't you? That's so hard to do.
When it isn't your day, it isn't your day. But my goodness, the fact that the Fever are just on song with everything.
Defense outside.
And again, it's taking those moments of I'm going to go and jump on this because I think I can get it.
Captain
Shows
Jess
that
Anstis, yeah, Captain Jess Anstis sitting at 35.5 Nissan net points. Have a look at this. Just takes it out of the air.
Not even on her player.
I laugh at that because, honest to goodness, you never ever on the court as a defender expect to do that.
No, and you might get a tip here and there, but you don't get a full clean intercept.
So, the Giants still chipping away, trying to find something through this Fever defence, and there's the captain again. Oh, courageous from Jess Anstis. Well, she's enjoying it, isn't she? The new leader of the club, replacing Courtney Bruce, who's crossed the country and will line up for the Sunshine Coast Lightning in tomorrow's big clash.
Oh, look at that. It's just the quick speed of the land and then also release of Beckford. She's just super classing in the way that she's able to just manipulate time in that attacking end.
So the Fever, 9-3 in terms of gains, and 7-1 goals from gains. That's enormous. 75. So in terms of highest score, actually West Coast Fever hold that record at 97. I don't know if they're going to get there. They'll have to bomb some big super shots, but we keep our eye on that scoreline for them. That was last year. And they defeated the Firebirds, who also scored 63, so that's a formidable score as well. But 97 is monstrous.
Another 23 goals to beat it.
Contest from Ariang. Near contact with a smile on the face. And Sophie Dwyer.
And the challenge now is that the Fever just giving away a couple of penalties.
So just have a look at this. So Dehaney's been called for contact. It looked like she didn't hear the umpire. The crowd were kind of giving her a bit of a boo. So watch this. Keep your eye on the tussle between her and Harton. I don't think there's much love lost there. Could be a new little contest to keep our eyes on over the season. Fallon Emmard looking very Fallon Emmard. All accuracy, 10 the difference.
That is offside in defence. That is offside centre.
Harton. Oh, again.
Contact goal defence.
Oh, that's a clever connection. Looks one way and then Dwyer pops in along the base. Very impressive.
Contact from defence. Send the third.
Kim, what do Giants at 20 now the difference? Tell me what they need to be clinical about to get some real confidence in the last 7 minutes of this quarter before they finish their first game of the season.
I think that they need to continue to try new things. So you see the defence going and having a crack. Matilda McDonald going out, having a fly, and Jodie Ann Ward coming back and backing her up. But in attack, I just think you need to get Matisse Riddeborough on. Just bring something a little bit different in that attack end.
Well, we'll have a look and see what happens. A HCF tactical timeout. It's been called by the West Coast Fever.
Going to bring Liv into goal attack. Jess, you're going to move into centre. Sunday into wing defence. Fran into goal defence. All right?
Well, guys,
Liv, come over here for a sec. Let's get our roles really clear, all right? And Jess, just over here for a sec. Let's get you on first phase. Yep. Let's get you in second phase. Get her on your back. Right, so you're really clear post-up position to get yourself into the game. Right, and then get whipping that circle and go to post. Yep. All right, really hard. Get us an intercept to in defence. All right, really important. If you two guys need to do lateral, and then let Liv rip, just do that accordingly. All right. All right, guys, everyone in for this. 7 minutes to go in this game. I want you to treat this like it's the start of the match for 7 minutes. So discipline and attack to keep our scoreboard ticking over. Absolute intent in defence to go for ball, build pressure, put them under the pump. No relaxed moments, laser focus. Let's go.
Here we go. Lock the door again. Viva, 1, 2, 3. Viva!
So 7 minutes to play till we round out this game, and there's the Nissan net points powered by ePower, our match leaders. Talk me through it, Kim.
Yeah, well, it hasn't changed much from every other time that we've spoken about it. Fallon Emmard right at the top there. She is continuing to build. 141 already. That's a great score from her.
Lovely vision. Found some space for Harton. So Jess Anstis moves into the centre. And Ariang now out on wing defence, and ball in the hand of young Olivia Wilkinson. So debuting at Suncorp Super Netball, training partner with the Collingwood Magpies. Last year in a little wayward ball for the Giants. Yep, they'll get it.
And Sliger again just stepping up. She has been the little shining light of this Giants fold at the moment.
So quick ball movement, Price, and then some delay, but they find Winders in the pocket.
Well, then at the beginning of the game...
Ariang! No, it was offside.
You saw at the beginning of the game, Giants would swing that ball and there would be a hold at the post. And now there is two shooters running because they're under pressure. The swing happens, they're both out of position. It's not quite working. Here, let's look at this replay. Oh, just needed to keep her feet
A little
out of the circle.
Nike shoe size too big. Joe Harton. Now had some real intent on the face then after the shot. They've taken the last three. A little run here for the Giants. They've been far and few between. Anstis awkwardly goes down. She's hit the deck a couple of times today.
Well, again, Smart just getting her body in the motion of Sliger just to pull that penalty.
Well, we're trying to find the ball. It's actually dribbled into the back. So just watch the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Right down there, you see the lady there moving in the orange shirt. We're trying to find the ball. It's gone around the back of the equipment.
Goal attack, just on my whistle.
They've now found the ball on the side of the court, and we'll get underway. So Olivia Wilkinson about to take her first, and it doesn't land. Ellen Emmard mops up, pops another one in. Goal number 60.
I wonder how the shooters feel about a different ball coming into the game.
Well, can't be using that as an excuse with only 5 minutes left, but we'll see what happens. Because Power 5 time is here and now. Harton will look around. He needs some score. Dwyer must convert. And it's a held ball. Well, gee. It's been looking like it's been coming all day. The Fever defence has been all over the shot.
Contact wing.
And it's the double jump from both Fran Williams and Haney, just putting that extra pressure. And they are mixing it up on the shot. They've been brewing in that all game, so you just don't know as a shooter what's going to come at any stage.
So another one. The Fever leading this quarter 12-9. Swings to Anstis. Wilkinson cut off. They go the high ball around the post. Oh, gee, somehow that was allowed to play on. It looked like her arm touched the post. Julie Fitzgerald probably thought the same thing. Wilkinson, debut shot.
It's obstruction distance.
So obstruction.
Either one or the two.
Lines up for her first ball to drop in Suncorp Super Netball, and it is a super shot to Olivia Wilkinson.
Oh, gosh, that was good from Fran Williams. Let's have a look at this replay. Around the post. Don't know if she actually touched it until after play, but still touching the post.
That's a better one for Sophie Dwyer. Right in the middle. 20 the difference.
Footwork.
Footwork the call, foul and Nemad, so an opportunity here for the Giants. Scoreline's 14-11 this quarter. They'll want to win this quarter. We'll keep our eye on that.
Contact goal attack.
Plenty of time. Just over 3 on the clock. Winders, nowhere to go, then Dwyer pops through. Harton pops out the side there. This has got to go. And it does.
Yeah, and great movement from Harden, just knowing that she had to put that little dodge to pop back out. Giants need to really get this one under their belt as well.
Price. Oh my goodness, from downtown! The co-captain Joe Harden drops the biggest Suncorp super shot of the game.
Downtown and a sidestep.
Subtraction wing attack
Incredible.
far side.
Well,
Yes,
the
goal.
pressure's off, isn't it? So they may as well just go for broke. They're now leading the quarter score 15-14. The Fever have dominated all day.
Contact goal attack.
And, oh, gee, almost contact goal attack. I'm going to assume that Mr. Barnes meant goal defence. No, goal attack. My apologies, it was.
Giants.
So the Giants transition.
And something for the Giants to be super happy about right now is that they're actually keeping Fever to 62% centre pass conversion. We've been speaking about this all game, 95% first quarter.
Dehaney! Well, Katie Ann Dehaney's come out for the fly. The bench are on their feet.
Yeah, 95% in the first quarter, 87 and then 100% in the third, and now sitting at 62%. So they've done a good job here in the last quarter.
Teague Neal just takes a little bit of sting out of, I guess, the energy in the stadium at the moment. And pops the ball over to Fowler Nemad, 82-65 the scoreline. It's big. Dehaney has another first ball contest, the last one successful. Falls short, the rebound. Oh, absolute desperation from Winders. The crumbs go to the Fever. They fly through court here.
Offside.
And again.
Sliger.
The circle.
Oh, she's good.
Well, she's been the Giants' best for me.
She has, by far. And it's just those willingness to put a body on the line for the team to try and create momentum somewhere.
Well, a bit of energy, isn't it? Harvey Norman replay here. Look at that. The clash to Winders. I wonder whether they'll take a look at that from the sideline.
Centre third.
The doctor, it didn't look overly bad, but with the concussion stuff, surely they'll have a quick glance. She hasn't been asked to leave the court, so that's good news. 30 seconds to play out. Doesn't fall for Olivia Wilkinson. West Coast Fever getting all 10 players on the court today. Not so for the Giants. 14 seconds to play out, so likely to see Giants here take the last shot of the game. Off the hand of Sophie Dwyer. Hasn't been the best day. Can it finish a little better though? No, not to be. No throw in. The siren goes, and the West Coast Fever have put in an absolutely dominant performance in their opening game of the season away from home with a win over the Giants by 19 points, and that will now be their biggest win ever against the Giants. 11 it was formally, and they've taken their 8th win against them. So a terrific start to the season for the side that came third last year. For the Giants, do they walk away with a few questions early?
Yeah, they do, and I think it's just about when to play certain players and how to actually, under pressure, still consolidate. And I think Sophie Dwyer, we've spoken about her, she didn't have the best day at the office today. And if she had nailed some of those shots that she had missed, maybe they would have been in the game. But that's where I see having a look at Matisse Leatherborough coming on, changing it up, releasing pressure, providing something a little bit different. That's what you've got the bench for, and that Matisse has been a solid player for them for a very long time.
Well, let's get down to Caitlin Bassett, who's going to have the player of the match, and she shot 3 super shots in the first quarter. It was crazy, Caitlin.
It was absolutely incredible. Congratulations, player of the match performance, Janelle Fowler-Nembard. How did you feel out there? 64 from 64 and a dominant win in the first round.
Listen, we had one
things set in our mind to go out there and start the game really strong and finish really strong. So yeah, I thought it was kudos to my team. We started the game and finished how we wanted.
And you're out there with a familiar face in Shanice. How did you feel her debut match was out on Suncorp Super Netball Court?
Oh, she was brilliant. She came out here, she stamped her class, she showed why she should be in SSN, and I'm really proud of her.
It can be hard sometimes when you're leading against a side like Giants, who we know can punish you with a super shot. What was the mentality when you knew you had that lead at half-time?
Oh, we know they're incredible with a super shot. So once we're dominating in 1 point, we just know that we just keep ticking that scoreboard over. They have to chase us. So we just do what we had to.
And is this you guys sending a message to the rest of the competition? This is how you want to perform this season?
Oh, definitely. We are sending a message and we are going to take it a game at a time.
Well, congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Back to you, Sue.
Good on you, Caitlin. So very happy Janelle Fowler-Nembhard opens up with a player of the match to her name, but I think it'll be more important for her that the team gets a win on the road. Let's take a look at the match summary. 65-84 the scoreline. Kim Green very dominant from the team in green.
Yeah, look at that percentage accuracy. 77 to 89 to the Fever, but the one thing that really stands out to me is 16 turnovers to 8. Now 16 turnovers in a game is normally pretty good. 8 turnovers to Fever. You cannot beat a team when they're just being able to turn over the ball 8 times. So that's what I loved about the Fever. Held on to ball, created opportunities for themselves, and boy, did they have a great win.